Say, friends, you're listening to Doug Motel's Mind Salad. Interesting topics, clueless guests. Recorded at Radio Kingston in downtown Kingston, New York.
I'm so happy to be back on the Mind Salad show.
I've had so many 3-month affairs. The money I spend on condoms alone, you could feed a third world country.
Maybe they was kicked in the head or something. All right, goodbye. I figured out a way to monetize taking care of my mother, who is an alcoholic.
Here in America, you've got that slogan, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But my slogan is, a mind is a terrible thing to have. Well, thanks so much for streaming or downloading the premiere episode of Mind Salad. Please welcome our first guests. We have the French physicist. He's a professor at Columbia University, Dr. Francis Benazet. Is it Benazet or Benazet?
You can't pronounce it either way, but in France you would say Benazet.
Okay, Professor Benazet. We also have, I guess, what you would call an amateur geologist. Well, it's not really all just about the Earth. It's about much bigger issues. So I would call myself a professional myth buster or a lie detector. Okay, that's good. I like that. Lie detector, Jim Pickens. We also have another guest who is scheduled to be here in our studio in Kingston, New York, but he's running late. It is Sacha Talar, who is a spiritual lecturer. He's an author with hundreds of thousands of YouTube subscribers. And so hopefully we're going to hear his perspective on our topic today too. And our today's topic is entitled, What is Reality? We're just going there. We're just going straight for the hard stuff.
It's very difficult to explain.
Yeah, you're starting out there with a hot topic. So let's start with you, Professor. Can reality be defined?
It is very difficult to define what we mean when we say reality, but if you wish to know why the things around us behave the way they do, you have to look beneath the surface to see that everything is made of molecules. But if you want to know why molecules do what they do, you have to realize that they're just clusters of atoms, and atoms are groups of protons, neutrons, electrons, which in turn
See, I'm going to have to stop you right there. How do you know that molecules are even real?
Well, I am a scientist with many years of study.
Exactly. See, I learned something 10 years ago that really changed my life, and I'm trying to educate everyone about it. Okay. Please share. I learned that everything I was taught in school was a lie.
Pardon?
Yeah, what do you mean everything you were taught in school was a lie? I mean everything, just a bunch of lies. And that's the whole reason why the U.S. government engineered public schools to begin with. I prefer the term indoctrination centers for public schools anyways.
Well, maybe there is perhaps some bias in areas like history or...
Yeah, like Christopher Columbus, quote-unquote, discovered America.
Columbus thought that the world was flat, but now we know it is a globe. Surely you believe in science.
First of all, don't call me Shirley.
What is this, some sort of comedy, Sasha Cohen thing?
And second, no, I certainly do not believe that the Earth is a globe. Okay, so you believe that the Earth is flat? I prefer the term level.
Come on, this is absurd.
There is absolutely zero proof that the Earth is round.
What about the eyewitness observation and photograph from the moon?
First of all, the moon landings have been debunked for years. Hardly anyone believes that happened anymore. So you think that the lunar landings were what, staged? Oh, that was about as real as Sandy Hook.
But why? Why would they conspire to do this? What was the purpose be to fake them?
Yeah, what would the purpose be to fake them? For control of our minds. You see, it's virtually impossible to create a spacesuit that would repel the vacuum that space creates, especially in a suit that has, 10,000 thread holes in it? I mean, come on. But the U.S. government needed a special boost of morale, you see, at that time in the 60s because the Russians were kicking our butts.
But how did they film these landings, and all of the evidence?
Ever heard of the word superimpose?
Yes, of course.
Well, they superimposed everything onto one film, and they used what they call a green screen background. And they did it badly, too. I mean, if you look at the cheap amateurish footage.
But where are you getting
can you tell us where
information?
you're getting this from? Man, I'm part of a very big truth movement, and we're doing our studies on our own studies, see?
It's not difficult to study. If you're traveling from across America, you will see that...
Well, if you're in Kansas, you're going to see clearly that the earth is level or flat or whatever, because it's clear. It's very clear. You can just see how flat it is when you're out there.
Yes, but eventually you will see that there's somewhat of mountains which will rise in your view because of the curvature of the earth.
It's just because it's getting closer to you. And let me ask you this. Did you ever notice that the water doesn't curve? Did you ever notice that? Why do you think it's called water level?
That's not an answer to anything scientific at all.
Well, really, most of the answers are right there in the Bible. There's no mention anywhere of a global earth in the Bible. None at all. In fact, in Isaiah, God says he will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth. Well, that clearly shows that. Okay. Before we get into spirituality, I'm hoping that our third guest is going to be here soon. I just got a text. So, why don't we take some callers? We've got a call-in number here in Kingston. Again, the number is, if you didn't get it off of Facebook, it's 845-418-6472. I'm sorry. And our first caller, it says here her name is Joan, and she's from Atlantic County, New Jersey. Hi, Joan.
Hi, and thanks for having me on. I seen your website, and I seen your topic, and it's what is realty. Well, I've been doing real estate for over 25 years, and I thought...
Actually, it's reality, not realty.
Oh, ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but our topic is what is reality. Were you listening in when you were on hold?
No, I was busy with my kids who was torturing me. No, Tommy. You can't eat that. You already had a can of Pringles and 3 Hostess Ho-Hos. Just wait for the ice cream truck to come. Sorry about that. This is my reality right here. I want to strangle them.
Well, we've been listening to Professor Benazet, professor of physics at Columbia University.
Hello, madam.
And we have a professional lie detector, Mr. Jim Pickens. Howdy, ma'am. Mr. Pickens was questioning science in general, really, and Professor Benazet was trying to have some sort of ground for basing a discussion about reality from a science perspective. But tell me, Joan, just out of curiosity, do you believe that the earth is round or flat?
Well, I do think that the earth is round on account of that's what I learned in school, but I see some of the stuff that they teach kids in school nowadays, and I think it's a bunch of bull.
What, for instance?
That we all come from Africa, for example.
Well, that's fake news right there.
But Homo sapiens did originate from Africa.
Well, I believe the president when he says you can't believe what you see or hear no more.
But you believe him?
Well, I believe him more than I believe that Anderson Cooper. He looks exactly like a damn alien from space.
Have you ever seen aliens, Joan?
Not from space, but we got a bunch of illegals that hang out by the Home Depot. Tommy, get your feet off my good plastic slip covers. I am going to kill you.
Okay. We're going to let that caller go. Let's just take a minute to mention our sponsor, the Rosendale Theater in Rosendale, New York. They do a lot of amazing things, not just movies, a lot of really great movies that are hard to find anywhere else in the Mid-Hudson Valley, but they also do a lot of live theater and music and really, really great stuff. So go to the Rosendale Theater or Google Rosendale Theater. Thank you, Rosendale Theater, for being our sponsor in September.
Oh, I'm very sorry to be late.
Oh, we're so glad you were here.
Terrible accident on the highway, and very sorry to be late.
Looks like I'm the only American guest on this show. Well, I guess we're getting harder and harder to find. Our guest, spiritual lecturer, Mr. Sasha Talar, is finally here. This is Professor Francis Benazet, who is a professor of physics.
Hello.
Very good to meet you.
And this is Mythbuster and Lie Detector, Jim Pickens.
Well, this is a very good title, Mythbuster. This would make a wonderful business card, no?
Well, thank you. There are a lot of lies out there being told in the indoctrination centers called public schools, and none of them having anything to do with God.
Oh, that's it. This is very true what you say. Very, very true.
Yes, but even God would agree that for the conversation of reality, that matter is very important.
Theories about matter are very overrated.
Oh, no, not another one.
Well, what I mean to say is that very much time has been spent on something that cannot be proven. by any means other than thought. Thought and theories and ideas at the expense of experience, you see. And reality is experience. Am I right?
Hey, I agree with him. I mean, if if you weren't wearing them PJs and the beads and all that, I'd say that you were probably part of the truth movement.
Oh, yes, I am a part of the truth movement, you might say this.
Well, I am very happy for the both of you, but if everyone is walking around believing that the Earth is a frisbee, that gravity and science is just fake news, how we have a common language? How will we communicate?
Well, there ain't no common language no more because the deep state don't want us to have no common language. It doesn't serve their agenda of the bankers, you see, if you catch my drift, if you know what I mean by the bankers.
I think we know what you mean by the bankers.
Yes, we catch your drift. But back to the topic of reality. Mr. Talar, can you tell us, why is it so hard to define reality?
Because it is impossible to define it. You cannot use language to speak of something for which there are no words. It is only the false self who struggles with this.
Well, he's right about that. All you got to do is turn on the news for 5 minutes and you can see a bunch of false selves blabbing about this and blabbing about that.
Oh, yes, it's very true. Let me ask you, when you are doing your lie detecting, do you start with yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm the most honest person I know.
Very good, very good. So when I ask what you mean when you say I am the most honest person, for example,
I'm referring to myself, Jim Pickens.
Yes, but wasn't that name given to you by another?
Yes, I got stuck with Jim Jr. by my no-good drunken pa, who named me and then split.
So you will agree that you cannot be your name?
No. I guess I'm my body, my personal being, my personal body here.
But is it the same body that you have always had?
Oh, no, not my whole life. Of course not.
Of course not. No. The body has not stopped changing since you were conceived, and it is changing as we speak, yes?
True.
I don't know what this has to do with the topic of reality.
Indeed, it is all that we can experience of reality because God is the only reality. And when you discover the I am, you have discovered God.
Okay, now you lost me there. There isn't nothing in the Bible about the, what'd you say, the I am?
Of course there is. It is the most powerful sentence in all of the Gospels. It's the very reason that Christianity endures after thousands of years. It's the greatest wisdom we can teach.
Well, I know my Bible pretty well, and I never read that.
You might know it as the phrase, be still and know I am God. You see, the proper English translation of that is be still and know the I am is God.
Oh, well, that's pretty deep. Be still and know the I am is God.
I have some colleagues who explore quantum physics. Their theory is that if you break down matter into subatomic particles, all you have is God.
All you have is God. Let us continue with our exploration. If you're not your name or your body when you say, I am being honest, or I am hungry, or I am tired, who is this?
I'm thinking that maybe I'm my thoughts, like the sum of all of my thoughts.
But how many of your thoughts mean anything? Are they not mostly memories of moments you can no longer experience, or possible futures that may or may not come? Perhaps your thoughts are simply commenting or making up a story about reality instead of reality itself.
Well, in a way, you're right about that. I guess my thinking is like that.
None of this is a serious discussion about reality because it cannot be measured or proven. It is belief.
The truth of who you are cannot simply be this collection of burps of the mind. This is like rumblings of the tummy. And please, Professor, tell me what is true that is only sometimes true. For something to be true, it must always be true, yes?
I gotta be something else than that.
Who can say where it is that these thoughts are even happening?
I can say. Science can say where these thoughts are happening. They are happening in the frontal lobe, and they are being carried by neurons.
How do you know this?
Yeah, how do you know this?
This is the very nice explanation. But I ask you this. Who pays the price if science decides 100 years from now that it is actually consciousness using the brain instead of the brain having consciousness? No?
Mr. Pickens? Jim? Are you okay?
What is happening with him?
But he's fine. He's fine.
His eyes, it does not look, he's not looking clearly.
If I ain't my personality, and I ain't my thoughts and my feelings and my body, and I can still be conscious and know that I am.
What is happening with him? Can you make him sit down, please? It's making me very nervous.
Hey, Jim, are you all right?
Oh, he's more than fine. He's just waking up.
I think it's not good. He's going to hurt himself or something. It's a seizure. It's a hysterical seizure or something.
It is sometimes called samadhi or sometimes called transcendence, blissful moment. It doesn't matter what you call it.
But we can't have him running around like a lunatic all over the place, huh?
Oh, don't worry. I don't think it will last very long.
God, I can't just leave the recording. I think there's people out there. People out there in the office that are helping him right now. It looks like it. Oh, he's okay. Yeah, he looks okay. I think he's. Oh my gosh. He's losing it.
I'm very worried about him. When will he come back to reality?
When you say I am very worried, who is this I you are speaking of?
Oh, mon Dieu. Get away from me, huh?
Well, that's all the time we have today, but thanks so much for tuning in to this first episode of Doug Motel's Mind Salad. Be sure to join us in 2 weeks for episode 2 entitled, What is Success? And we have some very interesting guests lined up. Be sure to visit patreon.com/DougMotel. That's patreon.com/DougMotel because there's information on how you can be a sponsor of this podcast for as little as $1 a month. So please visit that and use the hashtag MindSalad. Thanks again.
Well, thanks for listening to Doug Motel's Mind Salad, and have a swell day.
I'm so happy to be back on the Mind Salad show.
I've had so many 3-month affairs. The money I spend on condoms alone, you could feed a third world country.
Maybe they was kicked in the head or something. All right, goodbye. I figured out a way to monetize taking care of my mother, who is an alcoholic.
Here in America, you've got that slogan, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But my slogan is, a mind is a terrible thing to have.